Thanks for watching the Here's the Deal channel. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification icon. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with everybody you know. If you want to support the channel, I've got a brand new design up in the store that you can put on any shirt, hoodie, mug, whatever you want. It's the Federal Reserve approved and endorsed Trump Punisher. Sure to be a conversation starter no matter where you go. Let's get into the video.
This is an absolutely, I love classic videos where we can increase in knowledge and break through any kind of ignorance that might be there. This is from the YouTube channel, Fake Mike Real News. Will is approaching two law enforcers, asking them a pertinent question for the sake of the viewers. Remember, this is how I view First Amendment auditing. Is while this is one man walking on a street in this state, in this county, he actually has become the eyes and the ears of anybody in the world who wants access to this information and wants to find out what's in the mind of these two law enforcers that he's about to encounter. I love what Will says here. Again, Will from Fake Mike Real News. Listen to this encounter and check out what these cops say.
What's going on, guys?
How are you?
Good. What you guys working on today?
Just working.
What are you doing for working?
Police stuff, walking around.
Police stuff, walking around?
Yeah.
What is that supposed to do?
What do you mean?
Is that supposed to deter crime or something?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Have you found that to be effective?
Yeah.
Based on what statistics?
My experience.
Your personal experience. Yes. Okay. That's great. How seriously do you gentlemen take your oath to the Constitution? What's your favorite one of the Bill of Rights, guys? Just curious.
To let you know, your audio and video are recorded too.
We all are by the NSA. I mean, I know you guys wouldn't have the gonads to arrest them for their unconstitutionality, but you can record me, somebody that's engaged in a constitutionally protected right. So why are you recording me?
Because you're recording me, I can play the game too.
It's not a game. It's not a game. I'm asking you what your favorite one of your Bill of Rights is. It's not.
I'm so glad that this law enforcer said that, because in the minds of a lot of these guys, it is a game. They aren't taking their oath seriously, which sounds to me like they didn't really mean what they said when they issued that, which poured forth from their mouths as what people considered the sacred oath, keeping your word. It is a game to them. Is it a game to them when somebody tragically dies at the barrel of a government gun, like Daniel Shaver or Philando Castile or James Boyd, or is beaten like Kelly Thomas or James Gardner or Eric Garner in New York? It's not a game. And it's funny to me that when you mention the Constitution, they walk away. It seems like if they heard the word Constitution, they'd be like, whoa, wait a second. I take that super seriously. What do you have to say about the Constitution? Because I am out here in uniform to protect and defend the Constitution. That is my only job as far as I'm concerned. So I'm glad that what spilled out of their lips is what actually arose with their hearts. They do think this is a game. And that is a problem.
The game. I'm asking my employees what they're up to.
My
employees. It's not a game. If the boss doesn't check in on his servants every once in a while, they're bound to run amok, right? That's why you guys didn't do anything when COVID happened. You guys didn't stand by local businesses and support them. You went right ahead with the mandates, the curfews, and lockdown because you dishonored your oath. That's why you can't tell me what's your favorite one. Okay, name what business did you stand next to? What church did you stand next to and keep it open?
What business did we shut down? Can you answer that?
Yes, I can.
Okay, go ahead.
By doing nothing and letting the politicians give you unconstitutional orders and not standing by those businesses and supporting them, you by default.
What would you suggest we do?
What would I suggest you do? You honor your oath.
So he didn't argue with that. By default, you didn't honor your oath and protect and defend. Protect and defend is an offensive measure. It's defensive and offensive. Protect and defend. This is your one job, and you blow it because you bow down to the political class, the political parasites who write laws in fancy words on fancy pieces of paper, and they carry it out. Oh, close this business. This business owner thinks that they can stay open during this. We need you to go and shut them down. Even if just by default they didn't protect that business, they didn't do their job. They didn't honor their oath. Super important.
You took a sacred oath before God and your countrymen.
Should have done.
I suggest you should have made a public. Yeah, exactly. You think that's funny?
Go ahead.
Well, what you should have done is you should have had a press conference and said, this is patently unconstitutional. The government cannot take away rights on a whim. Anybody has to read the Bill of Rights, the Federalist Papers, the Anti-Federalist Papers, especially the first 2 paragraphs of the Declaration of Independence. Government was created with our consent, and you guys have a sacred oath to protect our freedoms. And whenever government becomes the opposite of that, then it is our duty to alter abolish. I don't want to alter abolish. I just want to make sure that you guys are upholding your sacred oath.
Maybe you should run for office.
No,
No?
no.
You can make a difference thinking like that, right?
Yeah. I think that's a phenomenal idea.
I disagree with that,
If you want
but I
to come over
appreciate
here
you.
and preach to us.
No, I'm not
you know,
preaching.
So instead of them going, you know what? I can make a difference. There is power in that oath. All I have to, it's super simple. It's like the Second Amendment. Can you get more simple than the Second Amendment? The right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So if the political parasitic class makes a law saying, hey, go ahead and infringe on that person's rights, all they have to do is, that's not what I signed up for. That's not what those 27 words in the Second Amendment say. Therefore, that's not what I'm going to do. I'm here for one reason and one reason only: to protect and defend the right to keep and bear arms, which shall not be infringed. To protect and defend this person's rights to film whatever he wants from a publicly accessible area.
I'm not preaching.
You are preaching.
No,
But that's
you
but
want to stick by the
I appreciate that.
If you think we're
It's
the
not.
pro-
I'm not.
If you think we're the problem,
No, I don't think you're the
You
problem.
can run for office and you can fix it.
I'll have you know that
Right?
I've done a lot of stuff, right? But it's not like I'm giving you guys like a hard time or anything. Like, this is like your literal one job. You took an oath to uphold our rights. Nothing else, nothing more. You took an oath, a sacred oath to the Constitution. I'm not trying to joke around with you guys. I'm not trying to harass you guys. I just want to honestly know, how seriously do you take your oath? What's your favorite one of the Bill of Rights? I mean, I can go on a list of things right now that are completely unconstitutional, right? The drug war is unconstitutional. With alcohol, they had to get prohibition. They got a constitutional amendment. They didn't do that with the drug war. You guys bust up people with drugs all the time. You guys took a sacred oath to our Fourth Amendment. But one of the first things you guys are trained to do is ask for ID, which is subverting our Fourth Amendment.
The only criticism that I have of Will from Fake Mike and Real News, and I would love to sit down and talk with him, is that he's overwhelming them with a flood of truth, when these guys probably needed it to be slowed down just a little bit. Take one thing at a time. Do you guys support, protect, and defend the drug war? Do you enforce the drug laws? Because if you do, you're actually enforcing something that violates a person's right to life, liberty, property, and the pursuit of happiness. In preference or deference for obeying, fulfilling, protecting, and defending the edicts of political parasites. The drug war, it's not a war on drugs. These people need to understand it is not a war on drugs. Drugs don't go to jail. People go to jail. It is literally a war on people under the guise of keeping you safe. You know, safety and security that Benjamin Franklin said, if you give away a little bit of your essential liberty for politically promised security, then you deserve neither liberty nor security.
The Second Amendment is only good in certain places. In the First Amendment,
Hold on, let's go back to what you just said.
Absolutely.
To take your ID.
well, you guys are trained to find out who somebody is, and one of the major ways you do that is you ask for ID in a situation. Aren't you trained to ask for an ID?
Name the ways that we could ask for an ID.
You can say, do you have any ID?
Commit a crime. Right?
Well, no, I mean, I hope you're not aware of the fact that people ask for a crime even without an ID.
No, but what are the reasons that we want?
I mean, people ask for an ID without a crime being incurred a reasonable or articulable suspicion. It happens all the time. If on a call, just in
Yeah, JJ Stacken said in the chat room his adrenaline is probably pumping. That's probably why he's talking fast. If you've ever encountered a law enforcement officer and you're trying to film this, you're trying to get your words right, you got tons of adrenaline, your heart is going 90 miles an hour, and it's easy to make these mistakes. It's easy to try to go, jump ahead and just shotgun scatter some truth there. So no, this isn't harsh criticism. I'm just saying we can all look at and be, armchair quarterback, so to speak, and make sure that our technique is a little bit better for the purpose of spreading more knowledge so that the people can be empowered, because this is about self-empowerment, taking the power away from the state and putting it where it actually belongs, in the hands of the people.
general, most calls, someone's going to say, hey, do you have an ID on you? I just want to see who you are. Do you mind having an ID?
Investigation going on, so we no ID somebody to get information from them, right?
Yes.
Because we have to contact them.
If you have reasonable, articulable suspicion that a crime has been committed, but otherwise, if you don't, then asking for an ID is subverting that person's Fourth Amendment right and the Fifth Amendment right. And you guys took a note to that. How much training? Let me just wrap this up because you guys have been very respectful to me. I know you guys think I'm just joking around, kidding. I take this very dead serious. I appreciate that. As far as the Constitution goes, what type of training do you guys get on that as officers?
We have classes at the academy.
At the academy,
We
talking.
learn on our own. Like we research it. You know, it's important that we uphold the Constitution, right?
Yeah, I totally agree. Let me ask you one more question. What do those pins say right there? What do they stand for on your chest? What do they represent?
Well, this is a congressional award.
Oh wow, what'd you get that for?
Saving somebody from jumping off a bridge.
Wow, thank you very much. Thank you.
This is Officer of the Year. This one's meritorious medal. This one's life-saving medal.
Wow. Okay, so you're doing good work. You've saved a life, and that doesn't always happen. So I appreciate that. Guys, God bless you. You guys have a great day. What's your name and badge number, sir?
LaValle.
LaValle?
C22.
And what are you? What's your rank? Sergeant. Okay, sergeant. And you, sir?
Officer Cunningham,
Thank you very much, Officer Cunningham. Do you have a badge number?
36.
Thank you very much. God bless you guys. Please uphold the Constitution. I will. Thank you. Now that I spoke to you, gentlemen, thank you.
I thought that was a fantastic interaction and encounter with law enforcement. I think Will from Fake Mike Real News did a wonderful job on that. Again, this is from Fake Mike Real News. If you haven't already, subscribe to his channel, hit the bell notification icon. I'll leave the link to this video that you just saw in the description and in the pinned comment. Let Will from Fake Mike Real News know what you thought about it and leave your thoughts about this in the comment section below. I'll see you guys in the next video.